Need to power, buddy. Can you get us a Kyle Freeland update?
Sure. Yeah, yesterday afternoon, we got, the findings back from, our team doctors and other doctors who looked at the imaging. And thankfully, the news is encouraging from what they saw, on the scans. So that's good news. Obviously, there's a shoulder strain. That was diagnosed by Keith upon exam after leaving the game over at Oakland. The next morning, Kyle went in, got an MRI, and the results show that, as expected, there is a strain. We were worried about the significance of it, and obviously that would, give us information on how long he would be out. But the findings showed that, based on the degree of the strain, it looks pretty promising for Kyle here, moving forward. I wish I could give you a timetable, but he feels good today. He's moving around. He's receiving treatment. He's going to be put on the disabled list for sure. He'll probably be out of action at least a month. But within that month period, I would assume there's going to be some activity as far as throwing, playing catch, and gaining strength back. So overall, it was good news.
I'm not trying to nail you down on a timeline, but
a little bit you are, a little bit all you guys are, which I get.
It's cool. But when you say promising and good news, you just because you were fearful in the
yeah. So I think we all are, right? When you see a pitcher buckle over and grab his arm, that is, God, that hits you right in the stomach. You feel sick. That's how I felt. That's how all of us felt. Anytime you see that type of reaction from a player and a pitcher grabbing his arm, I mean, you think worst case scenario, and you obviously hope for the best as the days go on. So in this case, again, the doctors are encouraged about where the injury occurred. The part of the muscle belly and the shoulder. And the significance of the strain.
I'm sorry, you broke up for just real quick. You didn't say a muscle in the belly. What did you say?
I said the muscle belly, which is in the back of the shoulder. You have a bunch of muscles, right? Teres major, teres minor, supraspinatus, subscapularis. The lat is attached. So where all those sort of come together, we sort of refer to that as the muscle belly.
Gotcha. Okay. And then have you talked to him? What is his movement?
Yeah, I talked to him just moments ago. He exhaled some, obviously, when the report came back. He's ready to start rehabbing right away. We had treatment today. Some light, stretching, and he's moving it around. I saw him. He had an ice pack on his shoulder. We just gotta let the injury quiet down, and then from there you can pick up the strengthening and the therapy.
Cool. And then because I'm in the seat of power, I'm going to change the subject.
Yeah, go ahead. You can do anything you want in that seat. That's what it's there for.
Yes, thank you. The memo that MLB sent this week about trying to use Statcast to crack down on some foreign substances on balls from pitchers. I've always been curious that it would seem helpful to me for some that to be a little bit lax in real dry climates like Denver, that it might even be helpful for hitters if some things were available to pitchers to help them with grip. For instance, when the ball gets real dry, obviously it's really hard to grip.
Sure.
Is this going to be a problem in Colorado specifically? Like, is it going to make it tougher for pitchers in Colorado, Rockies or visiting teams?
Well, first of all, I didn't know you were on the mailing list from MLB. That's good to know. Just out of my curiosity, I'm glad you're on that list to get the email. But yeah, it's a valid point that we talk about all the time. But not only it affects altitude, but even in the summertime in Atlanta, St. Louis, Baltimore, where it's extremely humid and pitchers sweat. So it's a fine line there. It's a gray area that those of us in the game talk about, and the commissioner's office recognizes that as well, Nick. That it does make sense to have some sort of tack on a pitcher's fingers to be able to control the ball. And the dryness in Colorado, affects the grip. I mean, it's been that way, as long as there's been baseball in Denver. So the league is aware of that. Players, both pitchers and hitters, are aware of that. And, a lot of times that's why there's a rosin bag behind the mound. Pitchers are able to get some rosin. But there are, where the distinction comes is whether, as you know, and I think you read the memo, is whether, pitchers are crossing that line. And that's what, we have to crack down on. And I think everybody in the game is on board with that.
Okay. So your sort of general reaction wasn't too
no.
fearful, but okay.
No. I think everybody agrees that you have to have some sort of tact to be able to control the ball. I mean, that's for safety reasons for the hitter, and hitters want that, and pitchers need it to be able to control and command the baseball. On the other hand, like I mentioned, it's that area where pitchers are using substances to help their statistical performance, and not just for a grip on the baseball.
Gotcha. I am going to bow out. I might have another question, but thanks.
Yeah, I look forward to having you come back.
No, I appreciate it.
You got it, Nick.
Patrick, are you there? Patrick Saunders, you able to speak? Still getting nothing from you, Patrick. We're going to go to Noah for now. Noah, go ahead.
Hey, bud, I'm going to change it up a little bit.
Okay.
For Alan Trejo, what have you seen out of him? I should say, what have you liked out of him this spring training, especially playing other positions like third base?
I'm glad you asked about a good Aztec, Noah. He's been impressive in camp. I think last year we saw the makings of a potential big league player, and this year, again, has been very impressive. Physically, a little bit stronger. He's moving great. All the drills and practice at second, short, and third. He's looked, without repeating myself, really impressive. And we like the fact that he's swinging the bat. He's on fastballs, regardless of the velocity. He's ready to hit. The defensive versatility is big. Strong arm, range. He's had a really good camp. And, I think the future is bright for him, for Alan. Now, again, what role if he finally settles into is going to be, based on his performance. But he's playing really well, and he's got a skill set that plays in the big leagues. Because he can defend in the middle of the diamond, and he's capable of going to third, and he swings the bat.
With that bat in Hartford, he struggled a little bit his year there in 2019.
Yep.
Maybe hit 243. But last year at the alternate site, was there anything in particular that he seemed to latch on with? Improving offensively.
I'm not sure. I didn't see a lot of the alternate site inter squad games, but those that I did see, and even in spring training too, he looked the part. I'm not sure. I think it's probably a better question for him, but I think more than anything, it's probably just, increased strength, increased. I don't want to say athleticism, but his body's moving better than I've ever seen it. And that's a tribute to maybe some hard work in the off season, strengthening programs, agility. He's just in a really good place physically, and he's got a good baseball head. He's got a good baseball mind. He thinks the right things on the field. He thinks the right things during competition. So, he's done a really nice job.
And do you think that if he develops enough this year, you may be able to see him in the major leagues?
Quite possibly, sure. I mean, he's moved up the totem pole for sure.
Thank you very much.
You got it.
Tracy Ringlesby. Tracy, go ahead.
Buddy, after a night of sleep with John Gray, is he going to be on course for the season to start?
He'll be fine, Tracy. Yeah, that was, more of a bruise than anything. It was hit well, but it wasn't a smash. It did hit his glove first. That took a little bit of steam off it, but it did get him, on the side of the palm and a little bit on the wrist. And I think he just lost a little bit of feeling in his ability to throw secondary pitches. Stuff was fine. I think the first fastball after that was 95 miles an hour. Threw some good pitches to Kane. The breaking ball that Yelich hit out for the homer just didn't quite have great snap to it or great spin. I think that was probably a function of him not really having great grip strength to handle the spin that he wanted to put on the curveball. So I think he'll be fine, and he'll pitch on his day, which I believe is Monday. So yeah, he's doing fine.
And how are you going to determine which one of the three guys winds up getting into the rotation in Kyle's spot? Is there enough time left to really?
Yeah, we have a couple ideas that we're floating. We're going to run them, by a couple pitchers first, which we'll probably do within the next day or two. But it shouldn't be anything that will be, disadvantageous to the players.
Thank you, sir.
All right, try to go back to Patrick. Patrick, you got us?
Yeah, buddy, can you hear me now?
Patrick, we're 1 for 3.
Jesus.
In baseball terms, we'll take it.
333 gets me in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, it does. And hey, listen, that might be coming, Patrick, you in the Hall of Fame.
If I can ask one more question regarding Kyle.
Please.
From your firsthand experience as a left-handed pitcher and starter, did you ever have anything similar to this in your career? And if so, did you ever find out what caused it, and how did you rebound from it? And if not, perhaps you know of another pitcher that you've been associated with who could maybe be a template for what Kyle's going through.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, no. I did not ever have the one pitch event where, I was buckled over. No. Some of my own injuries as a pitcher were, happened over time, the wear and tear aspect that, that finally, got a little bit of my elbow ligament, my flexor tendons around my elbow, and, just the irritation that might come with pitching in the shoulder, tendonitis, inflammation, but not a one-time event where I had a shoulder strain or blew out a ligament. I have seen those events happen, both with the elbow and with the shoulder. Steve Foster, for one, I think had a shoulder one-pitch event, in his day. But I think it depends on, again, the severity and the significance of the tear. In this case, as it relates to Kyle, the doctors are pretty convinced that there is a strain, but he will overcome this and be pitching this season, and hopefully again within a timetable that gives him a lot of starts as we get into hopefully May. We just don't know, but they're encouraged by it. So I think anything with Kyle, we're talking about a guy that has great mental strength. Like I said, I talked to him earlier. He's He knows what's ahead of him. But because of the results, you feel better mentally. Again, the degree of the strain. He knows it happened. He'll rehab it. It's going to heal, and he'll be back out there.
And Kinley's going to pitch today, and I know you told us that it's going to be close, whether he's going to be in your bullpen to begin the season at least. So when you're talking about a side or oblique, whatever it is in his case, what is the determining factor when he goes out and pitches? Is it how he recovers? Is it how he performs?
Yeah, well, again, he's going to pitch today. What's today? Thursday. He'll pitch Saturday. He'll have some games here. I think again, we're not talking about the arm. We're talking about his side. And if he's fully recovered from that and that is healed, it's just a matter of him, getting his stuff in order to start the season. Whether he has his arm strength, where the fastball needs to be where it needs to be, his slider, feel for the changeup, and he'll get those. Hopefully he'll get that feel and get his arm strength where we all feel good about his stuff in the next week.
I have one more different topic. We talked to Tapp the other day, and I asked him about his improvement as a stealing bases, and he thinks he has improved. He told me he has, for the most part, a green light. From your perspective regarding Raimel, what does the green light in his case mean?
Well, again, I want him to be aggressive, and these will be discussions prior to the game with myself, with Tapp, but probably more specifically with Ron Gideon, who's our first base coach, and does a lot of our base running stuff, does a lot of video work, him and Stu, on the pitcher-catcher matchup, the pitcher's times to the plate, who's catching that night as far as arm strength and accuracy, guys in the bullpen who might be guys that we can maybe take advantage of. So I think more than anything, I want Tapp to be aggressive. I want him to have that feel to go, but within the constraints of score, inning, what's going on in that particular game, what we're seeing from the opposing pitcher, those sort of. It's just not just a total green light. There are again strategies and reasons and all these things combined that will go into Tapp's preparation, that he'll know the appropriate times to truly have the green light.
Excellent. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
I will go back to Nick Groke to finish it up. Nick, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. Just two quick things. Just to clarify on Kyle, his replacement possibilities are still the three: Rollison, Chi, and Derek. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. And is it a mistake to presume that replacement will pitch then for the second series? Was it Arizona?
Yeah. I mean, with the off day on Monday, it's conceivable that we can bring all the starters back on regular rest, and that start wouldn't be. You can push that start back as far as Saturday in San Francisco.
Okay. And then also, can you update us, please, on Brendan Rodgers? Anything?
Doing well. He's in the strengthening phase now. Stationary bike work, no problems. Feels no pain in just regular movements, walking, stairs, playing catch. We haven't got him into baseball activities just yet. I think that's coming. Probably within the next 5 to 7 days. We'll get him on the field with ground balls. Potentially we'll get him on the field with batting practice, and that will start in the cage before he does it on the field. But he's doing well.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay. Thanks, guys.